Hey there, New York City Reeler again. Just got back from the range, and I had some interesting things happen today. The first thing is I was shooting my own ammo versus American Eagle Federal ammo, and I'll just show you what that looks like. That's this stuff, American Eagle. 20 centerfire rifle cartridges. It's made by Federal Ammunition. It's typically good stuff. I mean, I've been shooting lots of this stuff. If I buy store-bought ammo, it's typically American Eagle from Federal. I've been a huge fan, and it's been very good for me. 25 yards, 50 yards, it's been spectacular. I took it out to 100 yards today at the range, indoor range, and I saw some really weird activity, so I wanted to share that with you. So the first target I'm going to show you is a 100-yard target, and even though I sighted this thing in, and I'll show you the sight in, I want to show you what the store-bought ammo got me. That's at 100 yards, and I was sighting it in. You'll see I got a couple flyers up there too, and that's store-bought Federal. I was not very impressed at 100 yards. So I went ahead and switched ammo, and I went ahead and started shooting at the center target, and this is what I was able to do with my ammo. I don't know if you guys can see that, but that's the grouping here. There you go. That's the grouping that I got, and surprisingly very, very different. So let me go ahead and show it to you on a flat desktop. 100-yard target, shooting Federal American Eagle, and out of my 223 Thompson Compass, and I was just all over the place. I mean, I couldn't get this zeroed in at 100 yards for anything. I mean, that's about as close as I got on this target here. I got one in there, but the rest were just flying all over the place at 100 yards. I know I wasn't moving, and I wasn't very happy. Again, 25 yards, 50 yards, I seemed to be okay with it, but for some reason I wasn't getting anywhere near I was supposed to. I switched to the ammo that I make at home, and I did my first shot, and then I zeroed it in. You see I got closer, and then I wound up, that was my grouping. So that is about 20 shots of my 223, and I said, okay, well, that's fantastic. And then I went ahead and I switched back to the other ammo, and this is the best groupings I could get. So I kind of gave up on using the Federal American Eagle. It just didn't do really well for me. I have another target. I want to show you another example. Same Thompson Compass bolt action rifle, and this is using PMC 55 grain instead of using the American Eagle. It was definitely better. It definitely got me closer where I expected to be. In fact, if you look at the second target over here, this actually was my ammo, and you can actually see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 holes in that one. So I was pretty impressed with that. That's my ammo. So over here is PMC. This is the ammo that I made on my Dillon 650, and this is another 5-shot grouping with my ammo. So very, very happy at 100 yards. That's pretty damn awesome with the Thompson Compass. So, and again, I know it's small, I know it's hard to see, but trust me, that is a 5-shot grouping, all connected, all touching. Could have gone up a notch or something or so. Then I would have had them all in the bullseye, but I was pretty close as it was. And the great thing is the diameter of the bullet holes there. Let me just show you. I originally tested out my Thompson Compass. I tested it out with PMC 223, and I was very happy that I could cover most of my groupings with a quarter. But I mean, literally, I could cover this stuff with a dime, and this stuff with probably half a dime. Just to give you a size reference, I mean, that's just ridiculous. So I saw a video from my buddy and your buddy, Kenny, shooting a dime-sized group, and I was very impressed. So Kenny at Eagle Eye, his YouTube channel, he showed a dime-sized group by doing some neck turning and making sure he had good concentricity and such. So he got some really good dime-sized groupings, and today I got them. Yes, I do a lot of brass prep, and I do make sure my brass is weighed and sized and volume tested and separated by head stamp, and even so, I even check the weight of each one just to make sure we're on target. So I assume that's why my ammo was in much better shape. The other thing is my powder measure, which I know a lot of people complain about. But I'm using 25.5 grains of CFE 223, and my 650 is just metering it so well. It's a little ball powder. Meters are great. You know, I did 20 pours of on my feeder, my powder feeder, and every single one of them was 25.5. And I know that's crazy. I know it sounds nuts, but that's what I got. So just based on these shootings, these test fires, this range time I spent, I'm pretty happy with the 223 ammo that I'm creating. I found a similar event on the 9mm that I was making and shooting, as opposed to what I was buying. I normally buy a lot of Winchester because it's so dirt cheap here. I buy a lot of this stuff and 9mm. But I made up some ammo and using tight group and some cast bullets of mine, and I was surprised at the kind of groupings and stuff that I got. I didn't make enough of them to do enough of a test, but I just wanted to see if I was in the ballpark, and I was. So I'm pretty happy with what I'm getting. Great results, but I didn't expect to see Federal out there that much. And I'm not knocking Federal. I may have got a bad batch. Maybe it's old. The box I took it from, I bought quite a bit when it was cheap. I wouldn't expect it to have any issues or problems, but I do have to say, full disclosure, it's probably about 2 to 2.5 years old, worth of stored in a proper environment ammo, which I don't think I should have a problem with. Everything had moisture muncher packets in there. None of them had any issues with moisture on them because they were all looked like they could go a long time before the color turned on them. So I think the long and the short of it is, we're making a much higher quality ammo than possibly some of the manufacturers are. PMC was pretty good, but not anywhere close to what I got. So I hope you guys are getting the same kind of results when you're doing your own reloading, but I just wanted to share what my results were today. I'm sorry I didn't have a range camera so I could take to the range, and at 100 yards with an iPhone, it just doesn't work. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye. Oh, hey, make sure to stop by the reloadersnetwork.com. There's a really good chat room. There's really good posts on there you can read and communicate with some of the top reloaders, casters, shooters in the country, around the world, actually. In addition to that, there is a social media site now on there, and there's also where we post all of our videos. So stop by there and definitely take a peek. Last but not least, if you do me a favor, if that subscribe button doesn't say unsubscribe, if it says unsubscribe, don't hit it. If it says subscribe, do me a favor and smack that subscribe button, and I'll see you soon on the range maybe.